Mr. Secretary, I read the item. Number 4. Yes. Item 4, Mayor James R. Fouts, presentation of the proposed 2012 calendar year City of Warren water and sewer budget. Mayor Fouts, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just want to state for the record, before I begin, I want to say that I'm extremely excited about the change that's taken place on the City Council. As some of you know, I was elected 30 years ago this month, and I've seen a lot of changes in my 30 years in city government, 26 on the City Council. And I can truthfully say that over the years there has always been a strong, dark, negative influence on the council, and I don't see that with all of you. I think potentially you have a great potential to be the most outstanding city council we have ever had. I want to again congratulate Cecil St. Pierre on being elected president and on being one of the top vote-getters. Pat Green, I want to congratulate you too, as well as Keith Sadowski, Steve Warner, and our new Mayor Pro Tem, who will take over if something happens to me, and I think we'll be in good hands. Scott Stevens, I want to congratulate Bob Bocamino on a very tough race, and I would applaud you for being re-elected, especially under adverse negative conditions that you had to face. And obviously, I'm extremely excited for you, Kelly Collegio. Kelly served as my secretary, and she at sometimes was a one-lady operation in my office, and she came up with a lot of great ideas, and I guarantee you, Kelly, you are going to be the most outstanding female member of this city council. But nonetheless, I've viewed a lot, and I've seen every council has always had some very negative, mean-spirited people. This council does not, and I am convinced that working with you, this council will work with the mayor for the betterment of the citizens, and that's what we're all here for, is to serve the best interest of our citizens. Now, with that in mind, according to our auditor, we have changed the 10-year trend of revenues not equaling the budgeted amounts. The water and sewer system has not seen the unrestricted fund balance at this level since 2002, and has not had a system profit since 2001. It's the first time in 10 years we have met our budget projections, and we have not had an unrestricted fund balance at this level since 2002. The turnaround could not have been possible without the joint effort of the City Council, administration, employees. And I want to take a minute and tell the citizens at home. They already know because they went in and voted, but I want to say it again. I want to thank you, Scott Stevens. I want to thank you, Pat Green. I want to thank you, Mr. Sadowski. I want to thank you, Mr. Warner, and I want to thank you, Mr. Bocamino. The 5 of these people made it possible for us to move forward and to move this water budget into the 21st century. Now, that being said, I want to mention again, this is my 5th budget presentation, and I just got done complimenting 5 council members. I want to also give thanks to the people who worked in this budget, who worked hard. First of all, Tom Polakowski, the superintendent of the water department. Tom Polakowski used to appear before this council, and there was always some negative, nasty, mean-spirited people who would grill him over, despite the fact that he was the first recent water superintendent to have a college degree. The previous superintendent didn't even have a high school diploma. But he's done a lot to bring the water and sewer department budget into the 21st century by switching from slips to computer-driven data. Renee Rizak has done an outstanding job as the accountant supervisor. She's done a lot to analyze and go over the budget. Dave Kloss, the deputy superintendent, has been one of 2 real hands-on people who goes out and makes sure that everything is getting done properly, and he's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week man if necessary. Gus Gannon, deputy public service director, also has gone out on these water main breaks at 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Jim Hartley, city staff coordinator, has done all the necessary analysis to cut down on our overtime. For example, we had one overtime guy who was making $40,000 a year at overtime. Now that's ended, and that was because of Jim Hartley. Dave Berger, who's here, he's the SIMCOG efficiency team leader. Without his inspiration and guidance, I don't think a lot of this would have been possible. Rob Melsack, the controller, has worked diligently in this. And Chris Battle, the budget cost analyst, has collected the data and allowed us to come up with this budget tonight. Now, obviously, it's teamwork between the council, between the employees, and between the administration to make this possible. And the theme continues to be, we are doing more with less, and that has to continue to be the job of this council and this mayor. And bringing the water department into the 21st century with a variety of improvements. Now, I want to also indicate one other thing, and that is kind of an overview of this budget. And this budget does reflect a slight increase, but that increase is predicated on the fact that, as all of you know, and I'm excited about it, the voters of Warren, by a nearly 60% vote, approved the road millage. Now, when we do road repairs, we're not just going to do road repairs, we're going to take care of the water infrastructure underneath. And of course, that comes out of the water budget. So we're going to do two things at the same time, and it would be irresponsible not to do that. And so the slight increase that we will have will be in large part toward taking care of those roads that we're going to repair, and at the same time take care of the water infrastructure. Now, the good news from the 2010 auditor's report, which is the most recent year, is from Ramey Phillips. And Ramey Phillips, and I'm going to quote some of the things he said, but it's all good news. He said, the water and sewer system showed an operating income of $6,880,798 for the year 2010 and generated enough profit to cover the non-operating expenses, which included bond interest costs. Actual water sales were 734 million cubic feet for 2010, exceeding expectations by 5%. Interim 2011 financial statements are indicating that the actual revenues will reach the budgeted amount for the year and expenses are continuing to decrease. There were 202 water main breaks in fiscal year 2010, a decrease of 6% from 214 breaks in fiscal year 2009. The decrease in water main breaks is a positive indicator that the pressure-reducing valves recently installed in operating and entry points are working efficiently. The water and sewer system has taken an aggressive approach toward managing expenses. Overall expenses are down nearly $1 million, to be specific, $942,163 compared to the prior year. Continued efforts are in place to reduce personnel costs, in particular overtime costs, which I'm really proud of the improvement we've made, and steps have been taken to improve daily operations and help the system become much more efficient. The water and sewer system utilizes city staff to review policies and procedures through measurable performance standards, and of course city staff is really a result of Jim Hartley's hard work and the input we've got from SIMCOG through Dave Berger. Now, cost-cutting methods and measures continue through personnel reductions, deferment of capital equipment, and cost-saving opportunities. In reality, this is like a good housekeeping seal of approval from an impartial professional, meaning our auditor. And for the record, our auditor was well respected even by those who were the four who strongly opposed this administration. These improvements are a result of technological and management improvements. Now, the water and sewer budget goal, as are all goals, is the water and sewer system expenditures must equal the water and sewer system revenues. And as you know, this must be balanced by the city charter and the State Uniform Budget Act. In this presentation, you will see decreases in expenditures. And you will also see that the out-of-control department before 2007, some call the Wild Wild West, has changed. Now let me give you some examples how it's changed. It used to be that under the old administration, when the workers went out for a call, there was no check sheet, there was nobody there to tell them what they needed. So they'd go out and realize they forgot one item and they'd have to drive back. Thus it would increase the overtime. In addition, through the good work of Gus Gannon, among others, he found that the workers had a makeshift bed in the back of the truck, which all have been removed now. He found, too, that the equipment was not clean. The equipment was PC covered and really a biochemical hazard. He has put steps in place to make sure that doesn't happen. They didn't wear the proper clothes. At times, the administrator with workers would be watching cartoons on television. Tom Polakowski doesn't do that. He's a professional engineer. There was unsupervised overtime. There were all kinds of schemes to get overtime, such as one employee getting $40,000 in overtime. That is eliminated due to the hard work of Gus Gannon, due to the hard work of City Staff Director Jim Hartley, and due to the work of Dave Kloss. There was no cross-training of employees. That meant that an employee could only do one job and he couldn't do the other jobs. There was always a story about going out for a water main break and one couldn't go down underneath, only one could, and the other watched, and so on and so forth. They put an end to workers coming in late. They had one case where a worker came in late 68 times. And they also had a deal where the workers would punch in for other workers. Now, Dave Kloss, the administrator, is there to make sure every worker punches in for himself. There were all kinds of out-of-control expenditures. There was some cross-connection problems. There were a number of daily problems that no longer exist because of city staff and because of the hard work of our administrative team. Now, challenges. Every year with declining revenue, we face major challenges, and that is making expenditures meet declining consumption. Now, there's obviously only two choices. Choice one is to increase revenues through rate increases, and I know all of you don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And the other is streamlining services or cutting costs. I think we've made great inroads in streamlining services. We still have more to do. Now, the highlights of the proposed 2012 water and sewer budget. No pay increases, promotions, or upgrades in reclassification or layoffs. And I think it's important to note we didn't lay off anybody, unlike what was predicted. And obviously we didn't do any increases. A reduction of 2 vacant positions, a modest increase in personnel costs, more dollars for preventive maintenance. And I'm really strong on this. This budget reflects an effort, whatever increase we have for the most part goes toward preventive maintenance. More accurate meter reads, more emphasis on cost-cutting measures such as employee overtime. We really cut overtime. Dramatic increases in water main replacements, sanitary sewer improvements, and pressure-reducing valve installations, and a decline in water usage, reductions in professional services, improved water loss management, increased main sewer jetting. Now, the estimated revenues for 2012 are the following: 8% for operating income, 36% for the wastewater treatment charges, and 47% for water sales. Now, the total revenues for this year, they're not complete with this year, it's estimated will be $38,661,861. The total revenues for next year, 2012, is projected to be $39,940,251, which is a revenue increase of 3.3%, which is slightly above the cost of living. The revenues from water sales, the 2011 budget estimated $18.4 million. This coming year will be $18.8 million. So revenues, water sales are really flat. Now, when it comes to water sales, we are not pessimistic, nor are we optimistic, just realistic. Water sales volumes are budgeted at a realistic level. Sales are down 6 million cubic feet less than last year when we were down 40 million cubic feet. So you can see the chart here. The anticipated sales for 2012 will be $705 million, which is a 0.08% decline. Projected sales this year are 711 million cubic feet, and actual water sales in 2010 are 735 million cubic feet. Obviously, we are dependent on the weather. Now, our water purchases, unfortunately, in the city of Detroit are likely to go up. 2011, it was 8.86 million, and it's proposed in 2012 that it be at least 9.3 million. And all of you know Detroit is facing tough times, so we can expect those water purchases to continue to go up. Now, we've had a steady decline in water sales and revenue from those sales, and you can see it's declined and maybe somewhat flattened out. Why less water is being used? Well, there are a variety of reasons, but I have mentioned them to you today, and I think they're pretty much mentioned them to you in the past, and I think they're pretty much the same today. Public is more conservation conscious. People make whatever effort they can, even sometimes not to water their lawn. We have an unfortunate increase in foreclosed and vacant homes, probably several thousand. We have smaller family sizes. We have more empty nesters. Warren is probably in the top 5 to 10 cities in the United States with seniors, and obviously the seniors' children have moved out and they've moved to other places. We have an economic decline in Michigan. Let's face it, Chrysler and General Motors are not consuming the amount of water they used to. They've had major cutbacks, although I'm very thankful that we still have General Motors and we still have Chrysler. We have double-digit unemployment in this area, and we have a severe economic recession. So all of that means less water usage, plus we have to keep into account seasonal fluctuations. This year was not a bad year. Now, the 2012 proposed expenditures. Last year, salaries, wages, and fringe benefit accounted for 34% of the budget. This year, salaries, wages, and benefits were only 30% of the budget. Capital equipment goes from 0.8% to 3.1%, and it should. That's investing in our future, that's investing in our infrastructure. Overtime costs, I'm happy to say, have gone down from 1.4% to 1.2%, and they will continue to go down. Now you can see how the expenditures are broken down. Capital equipment, 3.1%, other 5%, salaries and wages, 13.7%, overtime, 1.2%, professional services, 3.1%, supplies, 3.0%, water purchase, 23.3%, fringe benefits, 17.1%, utilities, 5.1%, fleet maintenance, 0.4%, city service, 4.3%, debt service, 20.7%. Now, the total expenditures are $38,661,861, excuse me. 2012 is expected to be $39,940,251. The percentage increase is about 3.3%. Now, the total department request and mayor's recommendation. The department requests for $41,045,151. The mayor's recommendation is $39,945,651. That's a reduction of $1,099,500. So we cut more than $1 million by prioritizing. Now, I think the most important item I want to mention is this specific part called savings. The savings from 2007 to 2011, I think, is something to really be proud of. And again, I thank the 5 council members who helped to make this possible. And again, that's Councilman Warner, Councilman Sadowski, Councilman Green, Councilman Stevens, and Councilman Bocamino. You stuck with us. And the result is, because of your effort and work, employee regular work hours are down 25,677 hours. Employee regular pay amount, because of your hard work and spirit cooperation, is down $1,547,137. And your employee overtime hours is down 16,535 hours. Your employee overtime amounts is down $461,891. It's nearly $500,000 saved in overtime. The total savings, thanks to the 5 council members up there, is $2,283,644. Now, this $2.3 million in savings kept this year's proposed increase down to less than the cost of living index. We have a proud record of cutting overtime. Good management, and I've got to emphasize union cooperation and sound business-like strategies have made this possible. And again, I want to thank Tom Polakowski, who put in a lot of hard sweat equity into changing the system from paper-driven to computer analysis, and Dave Burnett, Renee Razak, Dave Kloss, and Gus Cannon. These individuals, together as a team, made drastic reductions in overtime costs. Now, the water and sewer system overtime. This is a chart that shows how hard our team is working to reduce overtime. From 2007 to 2011, we have cut overtime costs more than 1/2, and we have reduced overtime hours by half. These are dramatic savings in overtime costs. And let's look at the chart again. 2007, our cost was $757,000. It spiked up a little bit in 2008, but since 2008, our first full year, it's gone down. 778,000, 26,000, 2010, 420,000, 14,000, and 2011, $369,000 and 12,000 hours in overtime. That is more than half cut off. So I'm very proud of that, proud of the people that did it. Now, the 2012 water and sewer budget is organized in this way. The 2012 water and sewer budget, operation and maintenance, we have water and sewer maintenance, we have shared service, and we have wastewater treatment plant. The reserves are special purposes, and that's wastewater treatment improvements, infrastructure replacement, meter replacement, capital equipment, and debt service. The maintenance operation has these functions: water and sewer maintenance responsibilities, repair of water main breaks, average 200 per year from 2008 to 2010. Water gate valve inspection must be maintained to shut off water in emergencies. Water meter installation and repair, televising, cleaning, jetting, and vacuuming main sewer, stop box repairs, and hydrant maintenance repairs. Now, broken water mains. You can see by this chart that we have fewer flooded streets and basements as a result of improving on broken water mains. The installation of pressure-reducing valves has reduced the number of water main breaks by managing water pressure that causes breaks. And you can see there's been a gradual decline since my first year, which was 2008. You can see it's much smaller than it was previous. We still need to work on it. Now, water and sewer maintenance budget, the reduction of 1 employee and increase in preventive maintenance by almost $1.5 million. Now, the labor cost in 2011, $4,924,630. With 33 employees, we're reducing that to 32 employees in 2012, with a slight reduction in labor costs at $4,838,365. Preventive maintenance and other costs was $1,579,000 this year. We want to do more preventive maintenance, so it's up to $2,054,000. The total water and sewer maintenance budget is $6,503,630. Next year it'll be up $6,892,365, again, to help maintain the system. Now, highlights of 2012 water and sewer maintenance budget. Overtime has been reduced from $200,000 to $150,000. Temporary labor costs have been reduced from $110,000 to $88,000. Operating supplies are reduced from $320,000 to $200,000. Contractual sewer cleaning from $65,000 to $500,000 to maintain our sewer lines and prevent flooded streets. And I insisted, let's do more to make sure we prevent any future flooded streets and flooded basements. Now, the department request was $7,506,105. The mayor's recommendation was $6,897,761. That was a difference of $608,344. and sewer maintenance personnel. We eliminated the assistant superintendent's position, a salary of $86,461. We added the water operations manager, salary $84,000. We eliminated the general supervisor dispatcher position, paid $36.35 an hour. So we have a reduction of one employee going from 33 to 32. Dave Kloss desperately needs help. He is a one-man operation and reducing costs, and he has saved us a lot of money. He works 24/7 with no real backup, so the water operations manager position would only be the second appointed position in the water maintenance, and it is absolutely a necessity. Now, shared services responsibilities. Under that, we have accounting, we have customer service, which you know is where we give more information on the water bills like usage history, meter reading, collection of delinquent accounts, and by the way, we are very proactive in collecting delinquent accounts. We've collected $350,000 worth, and the inspection of water division projects and the right-of-way. Now, shared services budget. We have 5 function categories that contribute time to this division: the accounting, customer service, consumption review, meter reading, and engineering. Customer service personnel serves as customer relations representative for the water division. They handle all questions regarding water bills, water taps, meter installations, repairing and replacing stop boxes, plugged main sewers, and the availability of water and sewer service. Other responsibilities of this subsection include the issuance of all water permits and resolution of delinquent accounts. Contact is made with consumers whose accounts are delinquent and payment arrangements are coordinated. Customer service also compiles a list of all unpaid accounts as of December 31, since all unpaid accounts as of that date are placed on the tax roll for collection. And you can see that the labor costs for the adopted budget are $1,866,735. That will go up to $1,985,501 for 2012. Outside services and other costs for this year at $2,815,900. Next year it'll be $2,877,400. So the total shared service budget is $4,682,635, and the future will be $4,862,901 in 2012. So essentially, we have a status quo budget for a department with much more responsibilities. Now, the highlights of shared service 2012 proposed budget. The overtime has been reduced from $115,000 to $100,000. Professional services have been reduced from $440,000 to $385,000. The department request was $4,902,895. The mayor's recommendation is $4,862,901, a difference of $39,994. Now, the waste treatment plant, clearly our most important department to some degree in the city when it comes to complexity. They have reduced, they have a reduction of one employee, which has saved almost $100,000 in labor costs. The 2011 budget had 39 employees. The 2012 will have 38. This is the elimination of one mechanic technician position. Labor costs for 2011 are $6,036,359. That will be reduced to $5,941,191. The repair, maintenance, and other costs will be $3,374,270. The new budget will be $3,363,000. The total wastewater treatment plant budget will be $9,410,629 estimated for this year. Next year it will drop to $9,304,191. Now, the highlights of the 2012 wastewater treatment plants per budget are as follows. Permanent employees' cost has been reduced to $2,537,022, one fewer employee. Professional services reduced from $170,000 to $150,000. Odor control has been increased, as it rightfully should be, from $13,500 to $20,000. The department request was $9,529,308. The mayor's recommendation is $9,304,191, The difference is $225,117. Now, the wastewater treatment plant responsibilities, they meet the stringent discharge limitations of the state of Michigan DEQ and the U.S. government EPA. They provide equipment and facilities for primary, secondary, tertiary treatment of biosolids, environmentally acceptable sludge treatment and disposal. This is a highly technical department, and it's well led by the director of that department. It has 38 budgeted positions. The personnel has been reduced by 39% since 1998, accomplished by, Mr. Monette, by preventive maintenance and predictive maintenance to prevent equipment failure, outsourcing non-core work, cross-training staff to perform additional duties, that's extremely important. Technology improvements, increased automation, reduced hours, automated scum removal, reduced 4-hour day job to a 10-minute day job, which is extremely impressive. Again, Mr. Monette has done a great job. Automated decanning, 6 to 8 hours per day stayed. Remote control of basin gate flow, many hours saved per year. New solid meters allow sludge pumping and dewatering chemical feed to be automated, saving approximately a half person per year. Include sludge grinders, which is a better process control to eliminate storage tank deragging, approximately 1 person per year saved. Automated chemical metering and feed, solved many problems and saved many labor hours and improved employee safety. Improved level sensing and blending tanks, eliminated overflow cleanup, saving many labor hours. Water treatment plant efficiencies include reduced corrective maintenance labor hours due to prevention of equipment failure through the preventive and predictive maintenance program. Changing to preventive maintenance inspection and follow-up repair has saved between $30,000 and $65,000 annually in emergency repair costs. Sand filter repairs were completed using city employees and saved approximately $100,000 in costs compared to using outside contractors. And the conversion to ultraviolet disinfection from chlorination passed by this council saved $225,000, which is a safer item to deal with. And again, this is another example of sound management by Dave Monette and assistant Joe Kowalczyk. Now, the special purpose funds. For debt service, the estimated fund balance is $8,112,896. Budgeted revenues are $8,482,664. Budgeted expenditures is $6,405,979. And the estimated fund balance is an impressive $10,189,581. The Warren Waste Treatment Plant Improvement, estimated fund balance $113,329. Budgeted revenues $480,109. Budgeted expenditures $480,009. And estimated fund balance $113,429. Infrastructure replacement, estimated fund balance $1,089,376. Budgeted revenues $33,986,244. Budgeted expenditures $34,146,278. And estimated fund balance $932,342. Meter replacement, estimated fund balance $2,541,361. Budgeted revenues $10,000. Budgeted expenditures $2,403,378. Estimated fund balance $147,983. Capital equipment replacement, estimated fund balance $166,110. Budgeted revenues $1,249,300. Budgeted expenditures $1,393,327. Estimated fund balance $22,083. All right, 2012 infrastructure expenditures. Starting in 2012, we will have $22,402,900 $916 for water main replacements. That's going to be a pending bonding approval for 5 years. Sanitary sewer improvement, in 2011, we had $3,116,000. We're going to upgrade that by $8,020,000, and that's 157% improvement and increase. Pressure reducing valves, $775,000 this year. Next year it'll be $1,005,000. That's a 30% improvement. Capital projects and improvements. Water main infrastructure upgrades and replacement, $22,402,916. Pressure reducing valves, $1,005,000. Infiltration removal from the sanitary sewer system, $1,900,000. Relief sewer construction, $5,520,000. Sanitary sewer replacement and repair due to condition, $600,000. Total $31,427,916. Again, this will be for future bonding. Now, capital equipment. The big item for maintenance and electrical is electrician switchgear replacement, $250,000. Process control, the big item under capital, is generator cooling tower, $200,000. And I won't go over the rest. Operations, the big item is final clarifier replacement, $250,000, and engineering has a wide variety, including road replacement, building C to building B, $122,363. Now, water division improvements. We reduced spoils hauling costs by 30% since 2008, from $7.97 to $5.60 per cubic yard. Why? Because of more competitive bidding, changed from quarterly to annual bidding, and the annual savings is at least $35,000. Revenue generators for 2011 only: scrap sales, water meters, $9,000 in savings; scrap hydrants and miscellaneous unused scrap, $19,222. None of that goes in the coffee jar. Equipment auction, we got rid of old and used equipment, $55,900 savings. Water garage energy improvements, estimated annual savings at 40%, $20,000 per year. New lighting systems and motion sensor devices. We replaced a 20-year-old boiler that was high maintenance. We replaced old air makeup unit, less than 70% efficient. We have cost containment. We negotiated 2 cents per meter increase rollback from consumers' annual contract, which saved the taxpayers immediately $11,150, and that was negotiated by Water Superintendent Tom Polakowski. Now, we, in the water division improvements, we also increased the main sewer jetting effort to improve sewer flows, up 110% from 2009, or 2010 rather. We installed the pressure reducing valve number 4 at 8 Mile and Mound, and we improved water loss management effort. The losses were 8.78% for 2010 versus 10% historically. Automated requisitioning. This was a slow payment to vendors, which resulted in part shortage and impounding of equipment for payment in 2008. Since we implemented this in January 2011, the entire water and sewer system uses this technology. We purchased requisitions are entered directly into the computer. The old way, up until we took over, it was by typewriter. And typewriters, as you know, are almost a rare commodity. They belong in museums. This process is smarter, it's faster, and it provides better purchasing workflow. And the increased control over the purchasing operation and improved efficiency in monitoring all steps of the approval process. Now, this saves time in chasing paperwork, no carbon paper, no typewriters, all things in the past. And really, under Tom Polakowski, he brought the office operations from the 1950s to the 21st century. Now, automatic water meter replacement program. It's the biggest single improvement in the city's 54-year history. And I remember when I was on the city council, I was against it. didn't understand it, I wasn't sure it was right. It is right. It's going to generate $12 million in positive cash flow over 20 years. It is the biggest single improvement in the 54-year history of the city. The new meter installations since June 15, we've now installed almost 8,000, 7,935 out of 47,261. All new software implementation included in it: the billing system, the cash receipt system, the automatic meter reading system, the software interface for the water accounting ledger, and the Aclara hardware installation completed, network central processor, 12 data collector units, completed 500 plus hours of employee operational training, which is absolutely important. We have spent $2.3 million of the $9.1 self-funding bond, about 25%. Now, the automatic water meter replacement program also means the financial savings realized to date. The Neptune annual maintenance of old meters, we've saved $8,500. Consumers' monthly reads, we've saved $63,805. Additional annual water revenue generator, $95,000. We have reduced receivables from 2 months to 1 month billing cycle. And there's some non-financial benefits. We've implemented a new billing format. We have web-based customer history now available online. We've eliminated mailing envelope for direct pay customers. We have e-billing account features now available for online customers. Now, energy savings news from the Warren Waste Treatment Plant. The Warren Waste Treatment Plant Energy Program is going to save $11 million over 15 years. The implementation of a new biological phosphorus removal process to reduce or eliminate the chemical ferric chloride, which is currently used to treat phosphorus. The installation of a 10 kilowatt solar array at the Administration Services Building to provide a renewable energy source to offset the facility's power consumption. The reprogramming of the plant's current supervisory control and data acquisition system to enable more accurate energy usage monitoring. The installation of the new aeration blowers, control and power monitoring mission critical equipment to greatly reduce energy usage across the plant. The Warren Waste Treatment Plant Energy Program is going to save $11 million over 15 years. The facility upgrades include the installation of a hot water boiler to replace a steam boiler, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. Heating, ventilating, and air conditioning improvements include energy-efficient lighting enhancements, weatherization measures, improved monitoring of the new UV disinfection system, which will increase energy efficiencies and installation of new lift stations. The upgrades are expected to begin this November and be completed in spring of 2013. The primary factors affecting water rate. Number 1, water charge from Detroit. Number 2, water service charge. Number 3, sewage treatment cost. Number 4, infrastructure repair and maintenance, which is extremely important. Number 5, water consumption. Now, as you can see here, the Detroit water rates have gone up until this year. They went slightly down, and they're still up 2%, 12%, 13%, 19%, and 9%. And we anticipate they'll probably go up considerably this year with Detroit's troubles. But we have no control over the Detroit water charges to Warren whatsoever. Now, the effect of the new rate on the monthly average residential user, you can see the water service charge stays the same, the sewer service charge stays the same, the water charge stays the same, the waste water treatment charge goes up $1.24. Therein lies the increase from $49.39 to $50.63, an increase of $1.24 or 2.5%, which is within the cost of living. And I might add, in case you haven't already heard, the department recommendations were a 5.8% increase. I thought that was way too high, so we reduced that. And we cut over $1 million from department budget requests, reduced this by more than half. You can see Warren's comparison with all other cities, we're better than every other city comparable except for Sterling Heights. And they're a newer city, they have a newer infrastructure, and by the way, they put all their infrastructure costs in building new homes. Now, great comparison with cities of similar size. You can see Warren is cheaper than Grand Rapids, Detroit, Mount Clemens, Lansing. Look at Flint, $141. They're almost 3 times as big as Warren, and Lansing is almost twice. All right, this completes our 2012 water and sewer budget presentation. I'd like to thank our administrative team for cutting costs and streamlining the system. They are hard-working professionals. This would not have been possible, again, without the support of the following council members. I'm going to repeat again. Robert Bacamino, Pat Green, Keith Sadowski, Scott Stevens, and Steve Warren. I thank you for allowing me to make this presentation on cable TV and Water and Sewer Division administrators who will be available to answer any questions. One last comment I wish to make, and that has nothing to do with this, but I want to mention this. I want all the council members to thank the new team of 7. And that is, when I got elected 4 years ago, I came before the City Council and I requested that the Council consider a change to the charter to allow the oath of office and the inauguration to take place in January rather than November. And I'll just briefly mention that. First of all, that's what happens with the President of the United States when he's elected in November. That's what happens with the governor. And that's what happens with a lot of strong mayor cities. Right now, when I got elected, within 4 days, I got elected on Tuesday, Friday, the then city attorney, George Constance, came to me and said, Mayor Fouts, you got to make a decision on who you're going to fire and who you're going to rehire. He threw all these names down at me, and I was overwhelmed. I was not ready. I'd like to have interviewed all the present administrators. I'd like to interview some new people. So I had to make some quick decisions. That's not good government. And I know some people may say, oh, but Mayor Fouts, you could have interviewed and made a decision of who you want before. No, you can't do that who you want before when you don't know if you're going to get elected. So I believe for the future it's important to change the date at which we take the oath of office. We should give the new mayor, the new clerk, and the new treasurer time to interview and get familiar with the office. And I might have made some different decisions if I hadn't been able to make a decision immediately. And also, don't forget this, as the new mayor, I was no sooner elected, and then I was told I had to come up with a water budget presentation. That should be the responsibility of the mayor who's been mayor for most of the year, at least almost 11 out of 12 months. So I would request that you give serious thought to that. And I would also add this, that again, I'm very impressed with this council. Mr. St. Pierre, I'm impressed with you too. I think you're going to be a great leader. And the rest of you have done a great job. There is great potential up here. I can see a couple of you becoming a future mayor. I won't say who, but I see several people to be a future mayor. Of course, please wait a little longer. I can see a few of you as even being a future treasurer, maybe sooner than later. All of you have great potential for leadership. Mr. St. Pierre, I think you could be a future judge. I've been extremely impressed, and I might add this. I got one call from an irate citizen that didn't like the way you chaired the meeting, but I got tons and tons of calls from people who praised you and said it's time that this city get back in control of civility. So again, I congratulate all of you, and please consider it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, has anybody heard such propaganda before? I thought campaign season was over. A couple things that I just real quick comments. First of all, the mayor, he thanked you guys. He went on and on about how great you guys are. You're the next best thing to war veterans. He forgot to thank you guys for wasting tax money on recycling and also the $400 you guys voted to protect on the buyouts. But also, we got to remember, we're quickly approaching a new pace for more tax increases and water rate increases under this administration than the previous administration. So keep that in mind. Even though he says, oh, it's only $1.24 or 2.5%, It's really getting old, and start adding up the increases. Thank you.
All I want to say is this, I was going to say it at the audio participation of the regular meeting, but said she called over there where I wrote, somehow, we have to talk to the people that are going to talk and have them stop here and start thinking about forward, the future rather than the past. But we're not going to do that as long as the mayor keeps talking about the way he talks about you guys. I have no problem with him saying it once, I said it before. But to go on and on about it, I don't know. When are we going to start thinking about working together with you and us and stop talking about the negatives of us, so to speak, and you? Sooner or later, it's got to happen if we want to move forward. Thank you.
I came here to listen to a water budget, not to be rating the berating of council members that are no longer seated up there and the praising of the 5 that are. The election is over. I agree with Mr. Police. Mayor Fouts has to stop. And if I were you guys, I would kind of be very uncomfortable because he keeps over and over saying, you guys did exactly what he wanted over all this time. Watching from some of the other council meetings that I was at during the time when Donna and Kathy and Mary were sitting up there, they voted with a lot of the issues that have been brought up. So I don't know where he's saying that they were, except you are his chosen, which I really have a problem with sometimes. I hope you will serve the people and not the mayor. I hope you will use your own individual thinking and not be, yes, the mayor wants it, here we are. This is not going to be a council like that, because I think the citizens of Warren won't tolerate it. Mr. St. Pierre, I want to appreciate your call back to me. I'm the one that Mayor Fouts, and I'll stand up here and say it, is saying that I'm the only one that called, but it really seems funny. I got 14 calls at my home regarding the last council meeting. My husband and a few of his friends came up here because of how horrendous the last council meeting was. And I'm not the mayor. So if I got 14 calls, really disgusted with the council meeting and the way it transpired last time, I would assume he got many more than that. But he says he only got 1, and I'll say I'm that 1. So, but thank you, sir, for your call back. We discussed, and I'm hoping things will, it was, as you said, the first council meeting. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Tomas Blanca, resident of Warren. Just a few short comments. The first thing that concerned me was that the only person that I noticed that paid attention to the entire presentation that the mayor made was Robert Bacchini. The other 6 of you did not pay attention at certain points, which I believe if the mayor comes here to make a presentation, he deserves the respect. But one thing I didn't like about the presentation was that you're supposed to remain generic to the item at hand. And he brought up an issue about moving the date that everyone was sworn in. Well, I guess I'll just start talking about things that have nothing to do with the water budget. According to Robert's Rules of Order, when you table something, you're tabling it for 2 weeks. After that point, it dies. I don't understand why on the last council agenda, there were many items that were tabled, when they weren't on the previous agendas before that. What you do, if you want an agenda item to be quote-unquote tabled for a longer period of time, is you postpone it. You postpone it to a date certain. Hopefully, you guys make the right decisions for the residents. Thank you very much.
Any motions to adjourn?
Item 6, adjournment.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. We need to take a few minutes in order to
Go to live feed, yeah.
Yes.